Hello and welcome back to Precious Memory Box's Junk Journaling. And today we're going to start a new junk journal. There's two I would like to make this month. One is strictly like a writing journal. It'll have some pockets and tags and that, but it's not going to be highly decorated because it's for a friend who really likes to write. So we're going to start on that one today, and it'll probably take us one to put it together and then another day to put the decorations embellishments we are going to put in it. So we'll start that one today. And then the other one I would like to make is the Tim Holtz. I'd like to make myself a Tim Holtz inspired type journal. So once we get this one finished, we will start on that one. So today I have two kits for you, and these are from Silver and Sparkles. That's Pam over on Etsy and on YouTube. I think she's also on Pinterest and Buy Me a Coffee. And so just go check her out. I will link her YouTube channel down below for you. And we are going to use her retro Christmas kit. So that is this one here. And on the back, I printed the neutral paper she had in the kit. So we'll just flip through this real quick. I didn't print out every single piece to the kit, but I did print most of it. So let me flip through this for you. And on the back, so there's 5 different colors that she has for neutrals, and I love them all. So I printed them on the back. And I thought they would make great writing space in the journal. And all together in this journal, we're going to have 3 signatures, and we're going to have 5 pages per signature. 5 to 6 pages per signature, should I say. Okay, and then this kit is the Santa and Friends kit from Silver and Sparkles also. And I went ahead and used the same neutrals from the retro kit to put in here. I love the little deer. And then we've got a snowman. And I believe we have another snowman here. And then we have the Christmas tree. I also, just as fill-ins, I have a couple pieces of straw paper. And I just got this recently, and I love it. I've never had straw paper before, but I love the texture of it. I've got a piece of craft cardstock that I want to use to line the inside of the journal. And then I picked out this paper, excuse me, from a paper pad that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I thought we would use it as a cover. It's a nice thick piece of cardstock. I debated over whether to make a soft cover for this, but I thought since the person I'm giving this to is going to be doing writing in it, that it probably would be best to keep it paper. And I'm going to glue this cardstock to the back of it to be the inside cover. And then I also grabbed a piece of like deli paper. So it's not waxy, but it has, you know, the look of like wax paper that we're going to also use just as a paper in the kit. And I also grabbed a few envelopes to put in, so some small craft envelopes. And these are really thin, so they're not a real heavy. They won't be bulky in there, but yet you can store some pieces in there if you want, or little trinkets. And then these are some of the smaller pieces from the kit. So we're going to have some, these were like stamps. And then we've got different size tags. So there's some from the Santa kit, Santa and Friends kit. Love that little snowman in that one. And then we've got some journaling cards here. I may be getting out of picture, sorry about that. But journaling cards. And then we have some different cards also from our retro kit and tags. And we even have a few pockets in that came with the kit, so we may use those. So let's get started. The first thing we have to decide is what size we're going to make our journal. So we need to determine the cover. We're going to have to score it. So I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go ahead and glue these together. Let me grab the glue stick here, and we'll glue these together. And let's see, I think I'll go ahead and put the glue stick on here. I keep forgetting to bring a new glue stick in here. This one's about out. We'll see if we can make it through with this one. We may not be able to. I may have to resort to liquid glue. But we'll see what we can do here. Yep, that glue stick. If I don't lift it, I'll be okay. I'm going to try to get a little bit on the corners here. Looks like I already caught that one. All right, a little bit on this one. All right. And I'm going to throw that one in the trash right now, so I know I have to get another glue stick. And since we're not quite, we'll make double sure that this will stay together. I'll put a little liquid glue on this one, especially try to get it near the corners if I can. I'm just going to do the, oops, I totally missed there. Just going to do it lightly. Uh-oh, there's some little fruit fly in here with me. I think I've told you guys before, my son allows me to use his room because it's a quiet room to video in, because my craft space is out in the back of our living room. So he allows me to come in here and use his space. But I think he may have left some food in here or something that we got fruit flies. Okay, so let me check each of these corners and maybe glue it down. There we go. And I'm not going to worry about cutting any edges off because we'll wait till we get our papers the size we want and everything. We may be trimming a little of this off anyway. But we're going to score it because we need to have a little bit of a area to bind our signatures into. And I think we're just going to try to do it right in the center here if we can. So this is 11, so half of 11 is 5.5. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 5 1/4 and then 5 3/4, and that will give us about a 1/2 inch spine. Wonder if we need more than that. Wonder if I should do, let's see what that looks like. Let's do 5 1/4. Make sure I stay in line. Okay, and then we'll do 6 3/4. And let's see. Trying to decide if that is enough. I think that is not going to be enough. So let's go. I'm going to go out another 1/4 or 1/8 of an inch. Probably 1/4 there. Trying to decide. Let's go. We'll do 5 and 6. And that we know is an inch. Do that a little bit harder there. There we go. Okay, let me move this. need to, oops, sorry if I rock things. I needed to move my chair. I was kind of sitting at an angle. Okay, so we're going to very gently bend that. For now, I'm just going to press it with my fingers. And then we're going to come over here and try to keep this on the right spot. There we go. And that should give us our inch. And it does. All right. Now I'm just going to, there is not, I'm going to look this over here. There really is just barely just a little bit of the trim that you see there, you know, the extra paper from where I glued it together. So I don't think I'm going to cut any of that off. I think what I might do is just grab some vintage photo here and just kind of go around the edges and just kind of see if I can blend that in a little bit, just make it look blended. But that gives us a nice sturdy cover. Okay, I think that looks good. You can do the inside if you want, but I don't think it's absolutely necessary. All right, there we go. So we're going to set that to the side for a minute, and I need to find a little piece of something to put right in here so that we can make this a little bit stronger. So let me think on that, because I may not have brought it in here with me. But that's our cover. And let's decide on our 3 signatures how we want to put them together. Now these we are going to have to cut down because they're the same exact size as our cover, but they're not going to fit now that we added the 1-inch spine in here. So we'll get them in order and then we'll trim them down. And let's see. We're still going to be at 8.5 by 11. So I'm thinking about making the papers maybe 9 by 6. Let's see how much we have. So before it's about 5 inches on each side. So I think if we make it 9 by 5, or we might make it 10. Let's see. 9's going to be too tall. So we need to make it about 8 by 5 when they're folded, or 8 by 10. So we will have to decide how we're going to do that. All right, so we need to make 3 signatures. So, not sure if you'll be able to see all this. Let me see if I can move this over just a little bit. Move some of this extra stuff out of our way. There we go, and hopefully you'll be able to see the basics of what I'm doing here, but I'm just going to sort them out in groups of 3. And somewhere in there we'll add the straw paper. Okay. So having trouble getting a hold of that. There we go. So we'll just sort them out real quick. And I'm kind of just trying to go back and forth. I think I already got them mixed together here. Or maybe some of my papers, there. I was like, I'm missing some papers. Okay, there we go. All right, let's do one more of these on each. We'll also have to check and make sure that everything is going the same direction. So let's add our straw paper to 2 of them. And then this paper, which we will cut down also to 1. And then we'll go back and add the rest of our papers here. All right, and then somewhere in there, as we're folding these together, we'll add our envelopes. Okay, there we go. So each stack should have 5. Okay. And then I just want to check real quick and see if I've got 2 of the same back colors next to each other. So it looks like we did okay there. Let's check this one out. So we've got a blue, a neutral brown. We've got rice paper in between that, and then a pink. But I still think that'll be all right. I just didn't want them right next to each other. So we've got a neutral brown there, a green, a red. Then we've got our deli paper and a red and a neutral. So I still think we're all right. Okay. So let's get these ready. And let's cut these. Trying to think here. So we're going to cut them down. And I just want to make sure that's 11. So if I do 10 by 8, that should still be just about right. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and open this one up. And so when we cut it, it'll be about the same size. Okay, let me grab my cutter here. All right, so we need this to be 8, but I need to take a little bit off each end here. So let me line that up. I guess I could, no, I need to take that off there. I'm kind of indecisive sometimes. Okay, I'm just trying to make sure these are all lined up together. Let's take that out. I'll do it separately because it's causing me not to be able to line my papers up. Okay, so we're going to line that up right there and cut this off. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and cut this off of here. That way when I measure again, I'll have the right measurements on both sides. Okay. There we go. And I'm leaving all this in for case there's somebody new watching that's maybe never made a junk journal before. They can just kind of see the thought process, which might be a little scary. And sometimes I make mistakes because I, forget to measure on both sides. Okay, let's go ahead and take this off here. And all I'm doing is taking probably not even maybe a quarter, maybe not even a quarter off there. Okay, so let's see what our length is. These papers are so beautiful. I love them. I love the retro style of them. Okay, so we said we need these to be 8 inches tall and about 10 wide. So we don't have to take too much off for the 10. Now you could take a little bit off each end if you want, but I'm just going to go ahead and take that off. All right, so they are now 10 wide. And then we need it to be 8 tall. Okay, and do we want to take it off the bottom or the top? I think off the bottom because I like the little bulbs and decorations up here at the top of this. All right, let's make this sheet real quick in 8 by 10. So this is going to be 8. And this is like a 12 by 12 deli sheet here. So and we want to go 10 this direction. There we go. And give me just a minute so you don't have to watch me do all this. And I will get these other 2 cut and ready to go. Be right back. Welcome back. I got all those trimmed down to 8 by 10. And so now we can fold the signatures. And I'm debating if that is thick enough to hold or if I need to add something. Let's see what I might have here that we can add in to make that a little sturdier. Let's see. Wondering if I have some more. A little bit of maybe chipboard or another piece of cardstock. Maybe what I can do, this is a great way to improvise sometimes, is I'm going to take this neutral paper here. Wondering if I have enough, almost enough, and that might be fine. So let me trim this at 1 inch. We'll trim off the excess and then, oops. Okay. So let's see if we measure this, if that's an inch. It's right at an inch. So let me do this first and then we'll remeasure it here. Get rid of some of the excess and I'll just trim off that a little bit. All right. And we need it to be about right there. It's hard to get this little piece lined up in there straight. All right. I think I didn't quite get it thick enough, but let me see here. All right, let's grab the cover. It's a little thin down here, but you know what? I think it'll still work for our purposes. I just want a little bit of extra security, a little extra thickness in there. And we don't need it to be fancy. You're not really going to see it. There we go. just cut that off. And while that's drying for a moment, we will fold our signatures together. Now we can sew in our signatures, or we can do the binding method with the string, which I'm kind of thinking of doing. I think that would be fun. I have some red, let's see what colors. I've got some red, and I believe I also have some green baker's twine that we could do that with. So we may do that type of binding. So we're just going to go ahead and fold our pages for each signature and get them together. And like I said, it's going to be a really pretty journal. It's just not going to be highly embellished because we want it to be a writing journal. And here's our piece of rice paper. I'm sorry, I keep wanting to call it rice paper, but it's straw paper. And of course, if you don't like how your papers, are arranged in there, you can arrange them different ways. Like I may take this one and place it on top because I really like that tree. Okay, and then we can place this one in the center. So there's one signature. Need to be, so we're just going to take our scissors right here and kind of snip this off, and hopefully we'll catch most of that there. Well, mostly caught the deli paper, but that's all right. Okay, so we have our 3 signatures, and what we're going to do is, I think we will do the baker's twine binding. Now it's not a very thick book, but I think we still can do it. We could do it with that. We could also do it with rickrack. If I have a thin rickrack in here, let me see. I've got a little, this is a thick rickrack. I'm not sure if I have enough of that to go around 3 times, but I may. We also have a green. And let me look in here and see if I have a thinner. I thought I had some smaller red rickrack. Here we go. I'm thinking maybe we'll do it with that for something fun. We've also got this fabric tape that goes along really well. All right. So when you do a binding like this, you want to take and wrap it around for as many signatures as you're going to have, and then maybe an extra one also. So I'm going to start on the inside. You can use a piece of tape or something to hold it down. Actually, I need to start on the outside. I'm trying to remember. Let's see. No, let's start on the inside. Sorry. It's been a while since I made one of these. Okay, so I'm going to start on the inside, and I'm going to go around 1, 2, 3 times. We're going to have 3 signatures, but I'm going to go around just one more time, and now I remember what I have to do. Okay. I need to start in the middle here so that my wrapping will end up together. So I've got 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to come back around so this will meet so I can tie it. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and just clip it off down here. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and make a knot here. I'm not going to pull it too tight because it is paper, but I'm going to pull it tight enough that they'll stay sturdy. There we go. Might be a little tight there, so let me undo that a little. All right, there we go. And then I'm going to also, you could do this on the outside where you end up and tie it, but I'm going to take a little piece for the outside and make a little loop too, just to help keep it tight. The best person to watch for this, because I don't do these enough and I kind of forget how to do it this way, but if you watch Mindy Hunt, her name's on YouTube it's Mindy Hunt, on Instagram it's Minder78. She makes journals like this quite often and she does a really excellent job. All right, we are going to tie this right here, and I'm going to leave that because I may try to see if I can put a couple little jingle bells. Let's see if I got the jingle bells in here. I do. Let's see if we can thread these through here. Now, if it doesn't work right away, I'm going to wait till later because I don't want to torture you guys watching me do this. There we go. All right, let's see if I can tie this. And I'm just going to attempt to tie it one time. If you leave yourself some more room than I left myself, you could probably double knot it easily. But I got these big old fingers, chubby little fingers. Well, all right. I almost don't have to tie them on because the rickrack kind of holds it in there. But I would like to tie it on a little just to make sure. There we go. All right, let's see if the red one jingle bell is going to cooperate with this. And let me string it through there. You of course could grab yourself some bigger bells. But I like these small ones. And there we go. And I'm not going to trim them off or anything. You could trim off this little bit of excess if you want, but I like them just like they are. And there you go. You have a journal. You don't have to do any measuring. You can find the center of your journal, and I'm going to have to work with this and correct this a little bit, but for today, I'm just going to put it in here so you guys can see it, and then I'll work on correcting my mistake there. Let me see if I can get this real quick. Okay, so we're going to put one of the journals in here. And the nice thing about these, you can take them out, especially if you're using them as a writing journal. You'll be able to take them in and out to write on if you want to. Or you can write on them in the journal, whichever works best for you. I think so if you take them in and out a lot, it probably would loosen up your rickrack where you're going to have to, retie it or revamp it a little bit. Okay. And let's see. Try to decide which one of these I want to use. You could even add another signature if you want, but I think we'll just stick with our 3. And there we go. All right. And there is the construction part of our journal. We're going to add these. We'll add the envelopes as part of the decorating part of the journal. So we've got 3 signatures in there, if you can see those. We've got a tie system, kind of like a traveling notebook type binding. And then we've got 3 writing signatures. And I think if I calculated that right, he'll have at least 60 pages in there to write in, the person I'm giving the journal to. So that's where we're going to stop for today. And when we come back again, we will work on making a focal point on the front, something, festive for the season. And then we will do some decorating on the inside. I'm going to try to leave these plain pages alone. I might grab some stamps and maybe stamp on here a little bit. But we'll put some pockets and tags and just do our little embellishing on these pages here. And on our cover, our 2 covers, we may try to add a pocket on each side. So thank you for joining me. And I hope you'll come back for part 2. And we will finish the rest of the journal. We'll make probably a button closure for it, because that's the type that the person I'm giving this to likes. And we'll get it completed. And thank you again, Pam, for the wonderful kits. And I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye.